Hi, I'm going to give a video update this time because lots of things are happening and I'm going to give it from my classroom. I'm in my classroom right now because a lot of exciting things are happening at school. So, since we got back in January, it's been super busy. We had new students, we had different staff. Trying to readjust into school is always fun after not having 2 weeks of school. And this past week, we had curriculum training. So, people from ACE curriculum came to our school and basically trained us about how the curriculum is supposed to work. My favorite part of the week is the kids that I work with, the kindergarteners, should not be in their offices as much as I've been told that they should be. So we are supposed to be doing more activities in groups. Um, doing we're supposed to be really emphasizing how to read in their first language before we ask them to start to learn to read in their second language. And they encouraged us to use more of a phonics based approach and not because reading is a very complex skill and it can't be learned in offices. They told us that while the older kids, once they get to first grade, use offices full time, the kids in kindergarten should not be using offices full time. They should be learning how to read in groups. So I decided to work in this school because I saw that what's best for the kids was not currently being implemented. What I knew from what I was taught in college and what I learned from student teaching in college, kids learn to read best when they're in group settings, when it's very phonic based, when it's very oral based, because they need those oral language skills to separate the sounds and put the sounds together and to in order to be able to put the sounds together in from that they see written on the page. In this curriculum, once they get to first grade, they're expected to sit in their office all day and read their schoolwork and be able to do their schoolwork. But if we aren't teaching them how to read in kindergarten, they can't do their schoolwork in first grade. I was so happy this week. I nearly cried of joy several days because I was just so relieved that like everything I've been trying to implement is actually coming to fruition and we're being allowed to implement it by the curriculum itself. Like there's no question anymore of is this allowed by the curriculum? The curriculum says this, like the curriculum says that we need to implement these activities because it's what's best for the kids at this age. And so we've been I've had several conversations with the people who came to our school and also with the director of the school of how we can change the current room in order to best implement what they're telling us. And so before I had no space to keep tables on my side of the room, but and when we bring tables in, it was very cramped and there wasn't really enough space. And then I had to put them somewhere else when we weren't using them because there wasn't enough space to store them. But my boss and I reorganized the entire room yesterday on Friday. To We moved my desk out of the learning area, so to say, and we moved tables in. So now the entire area is so much more open and everything is for the kids. I have my things separate, and my boss is going to find a way to bring in cabinets so I can store school supplies, not just on top of my desk so it doesn't look as cluttered. We're going to try to separate the class. So I've mentioned before, the preschool and the kindergarten share a classroom, which makes it really chaotic because we're two classes, but in one room and we have different schedules. They're off. Sometimes the preschool kids are doing a louder activity and it distracts my kids, and sometimes vice versa. It's just really hard to share a room. So she's going to try to have a wall built in the middle of the room to completely separate us. And it's just amazing things that are happening. I am so excited. So this curriculum is a Christian curriculum, and the goal is for the kids to learn about the gospel and learn about Jesus and come out with a very strong foundation of faith. But that it starts early on in kindergarten, but ultimately is interwoven through the curriculum in all 12 years. When the kids aren't being what's best for the kids is not being done, they get really frustrated and learn to hate school. And if the Christianity aspect of the curriculum is the only exposure they have to Christianity, they learn to not like that either. And so when we're doing what's best for the kids and we can teach them in a positive environment and do and love them as Jesus loved them and teach them as Jesus would teach them, it really brings everything together and multiplies what we're saying about God, and just it puts the gospel in a new light for them, because they're not frustrated with school and they're not failing at school. They're going to be succeeding at school and they're going to be excited about it. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported me and will continue to support me financially and prayerfully. It really does go a long way to put God's plan into fruition here. And also, just if you're wondering how to pray, you can pray for patience with all of the staff. A lot of changes are happening in the school, and changes always bring lots of opinions. So just pray for the kids and the staff and the parents in regards to all of the changes that are going to be happening, especially in the next few weeks, the immediate ones. And also patience for me, because I work in a room full of 5 and 6 year olds that have a lot of energy, and sometimes it makes me tired.